You know that feeling? The one where it seems like your entire business is built on, well, a fragile foundation of hope? A lot of owners know exactly what I'm talking about, and it's a huge problem. We're going to unpack that right now.
All right, let's just dive right into the core problem here. For most businesses, the whole model relies way more on chance than it does on certainty. It's like there's this hidden leak, a quiet tax, that's just draining your profits right from under your nose.
I mean, just think about it for a second. If you run a gym, you're hoping members keep showing up. Got a restaurant? You're hoping people come back for that signature dish. A retail store? You're literally just crossing your fingers that today's shopper turns into a regular. It's a business model that's basically powered by wishful thinking.
And it's not just about customers either. You're also hoping that stuff like food waste or product spoilage or what the retail industry calls shrinkage, you're hoping that stuff isn't just silently eating away at your bottom line. You're essentially betting against this constant, invisible drain on your resources.
So here's the bottom line, right? This acceptance of leaks, this so-called quiet tax, it's the single biggest barrier to having any kind of predictable growth. We've somehow normalized a system where we just hope that the money coming in is going to be enough to cover all the money that's quietly seeping out.
And to put that into perspective, look at this. After all the bills are paid, that right there, that's the average net profit margin for a restaurant. We're talking 2 to 6%. Just think about that. When your margin is that razor thin, you absolutely cannot afford to run your business on hope. Every single leak, every lost customer, that's a direct hit to your survival.
So this all leads to the big question, doesn't it? Why do we accept this? Why are so many businesses built on a model that feels less like a predictable, engineered system and more like, well, like a lottery ticket? Well, here's the thing. Some industries, they don't accept it at all. So let's shift gears and look at how the world's most profitable digital industries have totally solved this exact problem. They've literally traded chance for certainty. And believe me, the results are staggering.
Okay, get ready for this number. Some of the most popular mobile strategy and RPG games, they convert 10 to 19% of their active users into paying customers. Just try to compare that to the conversion rate of foot traffic in a normal store. It's not even in the same ballpark. It's not even the same sport.
And this really gets to the heart of it. These industries do not hope for repeat business. They engineer it. They've absolutely perfected this system. Let's call it engineered engagement, that turns just a fleeting interest into a predictable, reliable stream of revenue.
So what's the toolkit they use to pull this off? It's called gamification. Now, you're seeing the formal definition here, but please don't get hung up on the textbook language. This is about so much more than just slapping some points and silly badges onto an app. It's a really powerful psychological engine, and it's designed specifically to create motivation.
Okay, so let's actually dive in and unbundle this whole term, gamification. We're going to pull back the curtain on the magic, so to speak, and really look at the psychological mechanics that make these systems so incredibly good at keeping people coming back for more.
So according to strategist Gabe Zickerman, the core of all of this really rests on 3 Fs. First, you've got instant feedback, which just lights up our brain's reward centers. Then there's friends, which taps into that deep need we all have for social connection and a little friendly competition. And finally, fun. That provides a kind of pleasure that makes the activity its own reward. You put those 3 together and you've got a seriously powerful and compelling loop for users.
And within that loop, you'll find some of these common psychological triggers or hooks. I promise you have seen these everywhere. Things like progress bars that your brain just hates leaving incomplete, or digital badges that signal your status. You've got that slot machine thrill of a spin-to-win reward, that feeling of social obligation to your team, and of course, the incredibly powerful feeling of sunk cost.
Want a perfect example? Just think about the progress bar on your LinkedIn profile. That little profile completeness meter, that thing is a masterful piece of psychological design. It's constantly nudging you, making you feel like you're so close, compelling you to add just one more piece of information.
And that right there is a brilliant illustration of something called the sunk cost fallacy. The reason that LinkedIn Meter works so well is because you've already invested your time filling out part of your profile. So in your head, you're thinking, well, I've already come this far, I might as well just finish it. That investment, even if it's small, makes it psychologically painful to just walk away. Now, this can be used for good, right? Think about a language learning app where you don't want to lose your daily streak. It keeps you going.
But, and this is a huge but, leveraging these psychological tools requires incredible care. Seriously, because if you push the wrong button, you don't just fail to motivate somebody, you can actually destroy the motivation that was already there to begin with. This is a massive warning for anyone looking to use these techniques.
This quote from a game design analyst really gets to the heart of the problem. There's this fundamental conflict between a goal you set for yourself and a goal that someone else, like a business, tries to set for you.
It's a phenomenon called the over-justification effect. There was this famous study, right? Researchers watched a group of kids who genuinely loved to draw, just for fun. But then, they started giving them a reward for it, a little gold star, and something fascinating happened. All of a sudden, the kids became less interested in drawing just for the sake of drawing. The external reward had hijacked and then completely replaced their natural, internal passion.
And this distinction is absolutely vital to understand. You've got intrinsic motivation, that's the drive that comes from inside you, it's lasting, it's self-sustaining. Then you have extrinsic motivation. That's temporary, it only works as long as the reward is being dangled in front of you. And if your gamification strategy accidentally kills a customer's intrinsic love for your product, well, you are in very big trouble.
So what's the takeaway here for a business? How are you supposed to use these incredibly powerful tools to level up your relationship with customers without accidentally falling into that really dangerous over-justification trap?
Well, the goal here isn't to create some mindless digital addiction that's just designed to extract money. The most successful, and I mean long-term successful, applications of these tools go way beyond creating a simple profit engine. They focus on fostering genuine value, real loyalty, and a relationship that actually feels meaningful to the customer.
And that really leaves us with one final provocative thought to chew on. These psychological tools, they are undeniably powerful. So, as businesses, but also as consumers, we have to ask ourselves, where is the line? When does thoughtful engagement cross over into straight-up exploitation? And how do we make sure we're building relationships that are meant to last instead of just, taking advantage of how our brains work?